Welcome to Marketing Made Simple TV. My name is Jeff Ogden, the host of the show, and I'm really delighted to have another great guest this week, Gini Dietrich of the Arment Deitrich company. The title of this episode is Spin Sucks. Gini Dietrich is our special guest. She's the founder and CEO of Arment Deitrich, a Chicago-based marketing and communications firm. She also is the author of the very popular PR and marketing blog, Spin Sucks. And we're going to talk about three things today. We're going to talk about the need to break down silos to integrate traditional and new marketing. You're also going to learn how to measure your efforts to get real business goals. And I'm going to talk with Gini about why Spin Sucks. So let's welcome Gini to the show. Hi, Gini. Welcome to the show.
How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you on the show and finally
too.
meet you. We've known each other from social media for
a couple of years, probably.
So I'm going to start off by asking. What's that?
Probably we've known each other a couple of years, I would guess.
I would say we probably have, and never met in person except for this. So virtual in-person meeting. So I'll ask you the same question I open every show with, which is, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Gini Dietrich. I own a marketing and communications firm in Chicago. It's kind of funny. We only have 2 clients in Chicago. The rest are national and international. I am the co-author of a new book called Marketing in the Round that I wrote with Jeff Livingston. And you mentioned it already. I am the lead blogger at Spin Sucks.
Great. Good to hear this, and I look forward to reading your new book, and we'll have to learn more about it on the show. So good. All right, so one of the things you talked about is the importance of companies to break down silos. And Joe Paluzzi was an earlier guest on the show, and he talked about a problem companies have with silos in their organization. So why do you and Joe say it's so important to tear down the silos?
Well, there's this newfangled thing called social media. You may have heard of it. And what's happening is we've had a few years of trying to figure out where social fits. Is it customer service? Is it HR and user recruiting? Is it communications? Is it marketing? What is it? And is it sales? You know, we're just trying to figure out where it fits. And we sort of have this wild, wild west feeling to it. And what's happening now is chief marketing officers are saying, oh my gosh, we really got to not only figure out how to harness this, but how to measure it and how to integrate it into a larger marketing mix. And so the problem, though, is that we have silos. We have an advertising department. We have an IT department. We have a customer service department. We have a communications department. We have a marketing department. And none of those departments are talking to one another. So you have all these silos. And what we're finding is that with social media and with technology, and especially now with big data coming into play, you really have to start talking to one another. So where it used to be advertising and PR could sort of exist in silos and maybe talk to each other once a month, now you're having to add in computer scientists and analysts and the IT department in order to really figure out how you're going to integrate all these things. And if you have silos, you can't do that. So it's really about integrating. It's about talking to one another. It's about working together. It's about having conversations. And it's about figuring out how to harness all of this into one big program that then you can use to push the business forward.
And that's a good point, Gini, and I think you're right that the companies need to break down the silos and start giving consistent messages. You know, the whole go-to-market approach and everything they do needs to be consistent. And you can't have, you know, different people singing from different hymn books at the same time. It just doesn't work. So. Now, let's talk. No, that doesn't work. So, so let's talk. You talk about, you know, the importance of metrics and improving value. So I'm going to just ask the question a different way. How can marketers and PR people watching you on this show improve their job security?
Figure out how an organization makes money and really tie your efforts to that. You know, it's funny because I'll have people say to me, well, I went into PR because I'm not good with numbers. And I'm not asking people to be good with calculus and algebra and statistics, but I think you have to have a pretty good basic understanding of stats. I'm asking people to really understand how to analyze data. So if it's traffic on a website and where they're coming from and what they're doing while they're there and how it's converting or whether or not it's converting, you really need to understand that. And you need to understand how to read data, how to analyze it, and how to use it in order to measure your efforts. Because the people that are able to do that, and we're starting to see communications sort of blur the lines a little bit with marketing. People that are able to do that, like traditional marketers, are the ones that are going to have the seat at the table and will have job security.
Yes, you're right. They need to prove value. And I also want to plug a couple prior guests on the show. Jim Linskold of the Linskold Group and Laura Patterson of Vision Edge Marketers. If you don't know statistics and you don't know how to put these kind of programs together, both of those people are really good at that stuff. They live and breathe statistics. So the people are out there, you know, and I think that we live in an age of specialization. So let's talk a little bit about blogging. I've been blogging for almost 7 years, and you write this blog called SpinSuck.
Well, if I were to say to you, if we were meeting for the first time and you said to me, what do you do for a living? And I would say, I own a PR firm, what's your first reaction to that? Okay,
so what, you pump out press releases?
Yeah, I get that. I get, oh, so you spin for a living, or oh, you don't tell the truth for a living, or what'd you think of the Super Bowl ad? And really, it's none of that. And I really got tired of the perception that as PR professionals, we're spin doctors, or that we just do publicity for a living. You know, in politics and Hollywood, that typically is what they do for a living, but the rest of us who work in nonprofits and corporations, we actually have a very strategic role. And so it just happened when I started 6 years ago that spinsucks.com was available. And so we grabbed it, and the rest is history, as they say.
Well, I think it's a great title for a blog, and I agree with you that, you know, I think in today's world we need authenticity, we need realism, we need to just, you know, again, to talk about someone else who's on the show, Don Peters wrote a book called Extreme Trust.
Oh, sure.
And his point is companies can't lie anymore. They can't deceive anyone. With social media and everything, there are no secrets. And it's really true. You got to get rid of all that. So, yeah. So anyway, this has been a very interesting conversation. If you're talking directly to the audience of this show, and you were going to give them like three takeaways, 3 things to keep in mind, what would be those 3 things?
So I would really look at how to not just break down silos inside an organization. You know, that's a big culture change. It's big change management. It may or may not be something that you can do, but look at ways for you to integrate with other disciplines. Maybe you're working with direct marketing or advertising, or there's a big email program going out that you're not aware of, or customer service doesn't know of the marketing programs that you're developing. So really find ways to talk to other people inside the organization. That's number 1. Number 2 is, you know, let's figure out how to change the perception of the PR industry and of the marketing industry too. We're not liars. This is about transparency, to your point, Jeff, and authenticity, and really figuring out how to serve customers, because the brand is no longer what you say it is. It's about what your customer thinks it is. It's about what your prospects think it is. It's about what your brand ambassadors and your critics think it is. And it's not really about you and the canned message anymore. So that's the second one. And I don't remember the third one.
That's all right, Gini. I put you on the spot there. We'll just go with 2. So, you know, talk to each other, share information, and realize that basically the customers own your brand.
Right, absolutely.
You don't own it anymore.
No.
And they're going to control it whether you want to or not, so accept it. It's the way the world is today.
It is.
So this has been a really fascinating discussion. So if someone wants to learn about your company, your blog, your new book, you know, where would they go? How can they learn more about you and what you do?
You know, the best place is spinsucks.com. It's easy to, 2 words, spinsucks, put together. So it's easy to find everything. The book's there, the blog posts are, there's 2 a day there, the business is there, it's all there. I'm there, it's all there.
Yes. So, Gini, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. You're a great guest on the show, and you shared some really useful information and tips about breaking down silos and just tell the truth, because as we learned, you can't keep secrets today anyway, so don't even try. And just, you know, just be out there and just keep doing good things, and people will hear about you.
Great.
So.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. My pleasure. I want to thank Gini Dietrich for being our guest on Marketing Made Simple TV. Great guest on the show. I want to remind everyone that this show publishes every Thursday at noon Eastern with a new guest every time. We have the CMO of GE coming up, the worldwide head of social media for the Ford Motor Company. We've got a whole bunch of just terrific guests. And in addition, you know, I also want to thank our sponsors, Avatage, Digital Ethos, and Watchitoo. 3 great companies that you should check out. This is Jeff Ogden, and we'll see you next week on Marketing Made Simple TV.